Punishment of crime in medieval days were often cruel or barbaric. Many who had not done anything wrong, but who were simply accused of crimes by the rich or the powerful, were not given a fair trial and instead were forced to prove their guilt or innocence by undertaking ordeals. Many of the ordeals they were forced to endure were horrid. Even the trials or ordeals they had to go through to prove their guilt or innocence were bizarre and had no logical link to whether the person was guilty or not of the crime they were accused of. Many crimes in the medieval period of history were divided according to how serious they were. It appears that people who had more money or power would have more influence over how crimes were punished. For example, nobles who had committed a crime would have a duty to determine their guilt or innocence, whereas the peasants were not given these same opportunities. These common folk would be subjected to cruel ordeals where fairness and justice had no bearing on the outcome. In medieval times, the crime of stealing or theft was placed in the same category as murder, arson, rape, or treason. In this presentation, I will outline a number of ordeals which were designed to prove their guilt or innocence. If a person were found guilty of a serious crime, they were often punished by hanging. Ordeals. Ordeals were only endured by lower-class citizens such as the peasants. There are strict rituals that were administered by the church. Before trial, the accused were forced to fast for 3 days and then made to attend a particular church service or the king's court. Then afterwards, members of the clergy or members of the king's court would select the ordeal which would determine the person's guilt or innocence, either by ordeal by fire or ordeal by water. Ordeal by fire. Ordeal by fire was when the accused was forced to take 3 steps while holding a piece of wood or iron. The hands would then be bandaged and left for 3 days. If the hands were not infected when these bandages were removed, then they were deemed to be innocent, but if infection had set in, then they were assumed to be guilty. Ordeal by water. Ordeal by water was somewhat like ordeal by fire. In this ordeal, the accused would have to remove a stone from a pot of boiling hot water. The scalded hand was meant to be left there for 3 days. If it became infected after this period of time, then the accused person was again deemed to be guilty. If the hand was not infected and had started to heal, then they were considered innocent. Another ordeal by water was by tying up and tossing an accused into a pond. If they floated to the surface, then they were thought to be guilty. If they sunk, then the accused were innocent. Punishments such as these were not very fair and would certainly not be acceptable as measures of guilt or innocence in 2014. The ordeals by fire and water were unfair as the burned or scalded hand would most definitely get infected because they were left untreated by any sort of ointment or medicine and as a result would most certainly become infected. The living conditions of time were quite primitive compared to our standards. Disease and bacteria were able to thrive, making it almost impossible for damaged or wounded body parts to heal without some form of infection. Ordeal by combat. Ordeal by combat is meant for nobles only. The Normans introduced this idea. The idea was that a noble could fight another noble to prove innocence through combat. They fought each other until one party forfeits or was killed. The winner of these combat situations were proven innocent, whereas if the loser survived, then he was executed. Medieval punishments. Punishments were designed to be intentionally cruel to stand an example to others and to create fear in the general community. In this way, the rulers felt that fear or punishment would stop others from committing crimes. Systems of justice during these times would attribute different punishments to men and women. A male murderer or thief would be executed, whereas a female would be strangled or burned to death. Nobles who had committed serious crimes such as murder were often beheaded. Punishment for treason involved a person being hung, drawn, and quartered. Punishments for smaller crimes included being flogged with whips or mutilated in some ways. Pickpockets' hands were cut off. Commoners hunting in royal parks would have their ears cut off. Cheating traders were to stand in the pillory or sit for days in stock. The War of a Jury. Trial by jury was introduced by King Henry II when he came into power in 1154. Under this system, a group of people who were members of a local community were chosen to make a decision in a legal case. So what some might say that they acted like early form police, except they were able to make judgments without having to hear all of the evidence. They could simply determine the guilt of a person based on the word of a neighbour or a nobleman. In Australia, the accused person is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Henry II. Henry II reformed the system of crime and punishment by introducing the system of trial by jury. This was considered a big step in developing the jury system. After its introduction, Henry continued to make changes to try and make the system fair for all involved. He established a system to resolve land disputes using juries. Men were assigned to arbitrate in these disputes. These men were able to figure out facts of their own instead of listening to the arguments in the court. He had introduced what is now known as the grand jury. A grand jury is a legal body that is to investigate criminal activities and to determine whether criminal charges should be brought.